What's going on, my peoples? It's your boy Kenny Man. I'm back one time for your mind. I ain't gonna be long on this because I think I want to do another live stream in a few. So I'm gonna try to. I was supposed to do some shit on my front porch, but I can't because it's fucking pouring down raining, and the shit that I need has not been delivered yet. So I may do a couple of live streams today. Um, I ain't been with the family, been with my peoples in a minute. We had the fellas up in the building, so we're gonna try to do that later. I gotta run. I'm gonna try to run to the store too real quick because it look like it's gonna rain all fucking day today. Um, my wife said that. I ain't believe her, but she was right. Um, so yeah, let's get into this, people. Um, Listen, man. Like I said, I get to a point where I get tired of talking about these stories because I just believe that we just dealing with a lot of stupid people, and it's not when we having conversations with these Republicans and stuff like that about simple gun laws and gun control. We're not dealing with rational human beings. These people are not. They're not. They don't have any empathy for others. These are the same people they talk about pro-life and all that shit. They work so hard to stop women from having abortions, but when it comes to protecting these children out here in these streets that's doing gun violence, shooting and killing each other in the communities, when you having children going in schools, shooting other children and killing them, they don't do anything about it. They just say give the teachers more guns, give the teachers more access to have these guns. These are the people that we're dealing with. What up, OG? These are the people that we're dealing with, my people. We're not dealing with rational human beings. And I'm very, very to the point where I'm tired. I'm tired of having these conversations with these people. See, listen, you're talking about, and mind you, we're not talking about these are when you get voted into office, anything that where you on a mainstream platform or you in any type of government, you're not regular folks anymore. You are considered a leader of the people. What up? What up? I ain't hear nothing about that. LT, what up, LT? I ain't heard nothing about that. LT, you had to send me something about that guy. I haven't heard Biden say anything like that, so I ain't gonna speak on something that I don't know nothing about. I haven't heard that yet, but send me something. Let me know where he said that at, so I could take a look at it. But so when you in a position like that, you have a responsibility to tell the truth and act like you actually give a damn about the people. You know what I'm saying? And we don't live in a country where the few outweighs the majority, outweighs the minority. We're dealing with a lot of. It's hard to explain to a certain extent because we're dealing with people that genuinely don't care about people. And so when you trying to have rational conversations about gun control or any issues in America that affects a lot of people, when you have these condescending people that don't actually care about people, then you get then you get then you can't have these good conversations with these people. You can't. It's not a productive conversation because, like I said, when the one thing, this is why I always tell white folks about when it comes to racism with black folks. is that don't tell me what racism is or how it feels, or you understand racism better than I do because I'm the one that's getting discriminated against because of my race. You're not. You always are sitting in the position of some type of authority or some type of privilege to do that. All right, I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to do some. I got your message, LT. I'm gonna look more into that article, and I'll talk about that a little later. So let's just get into this, man. This shit to me is this shit is very heartbreaking to me. So you know, it ain't too much you can say a lot of the times about these selfish individuals. So you just let them speak, so people won't be thinking I be lying. That's why my thing is, and I'm gonna say this once again, the reason that Opinion Buffets got shut down, and I'm gonna say this again, is because of the so-called cancel culture that the right wing says that they gonna most likely LT, most likely we probably do. I'll probably let people come on in the building later. Because I think I'm gonna do another live stream later. I'm waiting on some packages, but I don't think they coming soon. And I was supposed to do some shit on my porch today, put up some screens and shit like that on my porch. And I had to build this thing for my daughter so she can play, but it ain't come yet, and it looked like it ain't gonna come till late. So I'm gonna probably run to the store, grab me a couple of 6-packs. I haven't been even drinking like that either, people. I've been just like chilling, and doing a little shit behind the scenes, trying to figure out why my internet, why my PC doesn't work that good down in the basement. And so I don't even think it's the internet. I think it's my PC. My PC I gotta upgrade my PC again. I thought I upgraded it enough, but I gotta upgrade it more. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. And so I'm going on, probably after this live stream, I'm gonna look online and try to find me another PC. But anyway, let's just get into this, people.
Since you have been in Congress, there have been more than 550 deaths from firearms in your state, in the state of Nebraska. And since 2009, according to Everytown, there have been 245 mass shootings in the United States, more than 1,300 people killed in them just since 2009. Do you believe gun violence is a public health crisis in America?
Hold on. Give me a second. Because I keep forgetting I got speakers down here. I mean,
the Bluetooth device is ready to connect.
In my dining room. I keep forgetting I got that shit. Give me a second. Y'all gotta let me know how the sound is too, if the sound is too loud, because I'm dealing with I don't know how the sound is too much up here. Let's see here. All right, that's not the one. Is it this one? This one taking a long time too. What the fuck? Okay, it must be this one. Okay, it's this one.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
All right, here we go.
I surely do believe it's a problem.
Hold on, people. Give me a second. All right. Y'all let me know how the sound is. Far as the audio on this Bluetooth speaker I got.
And my heart goes out to all the victims of Colorado. It's heartbreaking. And I do think there's measures that we can take to improve public safety. I don't think the two bills that Speaker Pelosi passed really amount to much. I don't think they will really be helpful. But there are
how the audio is, people. Let me know how the audio is. Can y'all hear the audio good? Do I need to turn it up or turn it down? The audio.
The things we can do.
So let's talk about each of them separately. And then I want you to have a chance to talk about what you support. Because you just a few weeks ago put forward legislation in the House that would go after straw purchasers of guns, right? People that are buying guns for other folks, and a lot of those other folks shouldn't have them. But you did vote against, just a few weeks ago, H.R. 8 in the House. And that's a bill that would mandate background checks for private sales between private parties or guns sold on the internet. Why is that a bad idea in your mind?
Well, right now, all commercial gun sales do have a background check. And I find that this bill, it really hinders private citizens the most. If I have a gun and I want to sell it to my neighbor, or I want to sell it to various family members, now I got to do a background check. So I think it really hinders law-abiding citizens.
You see how stupid that sounds? That sounds so stupid. What is wrong with, first of all, you know how you know you got people in your family that ain't right in the head. You a lot of people know this. Selling your gun to family members sometimes is almost selling a gun to a stranger. And let's just be very, very honest about this. Just because you sat down, had a beer, or had a conversation with a neighbor doesn't mean you know that neighbor fully. You know how many neighbors and shit like that said that when those motherfuckers that did that white domestic terrorist attack on January 6th at the Capitol, you know how many of the neighbors of some of those people was like, they was good people, you know, it didn't seem like they was like that, you know, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. But these were the same people that went to go and commit domestic terrorism. They went to go commit domestic terrorism. So I don't give a fuck if I know a neighbor or not. That don't mean shit. Listen, man, people crazy, man. It's almost like if you people half of the time don't even know. Like if you got a family member that is probably every time you see him, they probably in good spirits. They can hide their feelings or whatever they may be going through. They may not fit you, and yet in your presence, and a lot of people ain't good judge of characters of people anyway, right? A lot of people don't have that anyway. So it's very rare that people can judge as a judge of a character and actually can interact with people and kind of get a feel for them. It's very rare that people can do that. So just imagine you got a family member that is you very close to, right? In your eyes, and in your heart and in your mind, you are very close to them. You got a great relationship with them. You talk about damn near everything, but they could be going through something in their life that they embarrassed about, that got them in depression or whatever, and they good of hiding it, and you don't know. And you go and they ask you, can you sell them a gun? And you sell them your gun without no background check, or because they hide shit in their life from you that you may not know, right? But you had a great relationship. You talk to them all the time on the phone. You can come to the cookout, whatever. And you sell them that gun, and you give them that gun, and they going through something mentally. And they take the gun and they kill themselves. See, the stupidity of these people pretending that you're taking away people's rights. What, to kill themselves? I thought we are here as a people to protect one another. We don't know what the fuck our family members or friends or just somebody you don't know in the neighborhood, just because they live in the neighborhood, doesn't mean that you that damn close to them. How is your judgment better than the motherfuckers that actually do it for a living? To check these people out if they stable enough to have a gun. But we live, just like OG said, we live among stupid people. And when you live among stupid people, you dumb the rest of the people that actually can use common sense and actually understand what the fuck is going on here. You start dumbing down the people. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I'm sick of having these conversations with these stupid ass Republicans. They are stupid. And then, like I said, some of them ain't stupid. They on purpose plain stupid because they know we amongst stupid people that falls for this dumb shit that didn't even make any sense. You're taking the rights away of a gun owner for selling to their family. What the fuck? Who? Listen, let me just be very honest. I'm one of those very rare people, and it's not no arrogant shit. It's just a part of a gift that I believe God blessed me with. I am most likely a very good judge of characters of people, but I ain't 100%. Okay? And let me just say this. Some shit I don't want to be my responsibility because I'm not qualified to have that responsibility. I don't have the responsibility. First of all, not the responsibility. I don't have the what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't have the God damn it, I'm going blank here. But listen, the word I'm looking for. I'm not qualified to be judging people's character of do they deserve to have a gun. I'm not qualified to do that, even though I'm a gun owner. I'm not qualified to do that, even though I'm a good judge of a character of a person. But I'm not qualified to do that. That's not my that's something that's out of my repertoire, you want to say. I don't have that in me to do that when it comes to certain shit. I stay in my lane. I leave certain shit up to certain people. But the problem with really what it is that the country been fucked up for so long that a lot of people, no matter what side of the aisle you may be on, the left or the right, or you just not with either party, you don't trust government because government has been lying and fucking the people over. But then, like I said, the people have to start taking responsibility for these people that we have in office because we keep voting for these ignorant, stupid people that's taking advantage of us. We can sit here all day and blame politicians, but goddamn it, we got to take some fucking responsibility for our shit. Because this is ridiculous. Another mass shooting for nothing. I guarantee you this dude was listening to this stupid motherfucker and just went off. I guarantee it's somewhere in the realm of this dumb shit. This motherfucker sitting here in line talking about 1 minute they trying to take away your guns. Number two, they don't want you. They're making it too hard for you to sell your guns to your family and friends. Which I don't give a fuck what type of gun owner you are. I don't give a fuck if you served in the military. You are not a good judge of a character to sell a person a gun. You're not qualified. And neither is this stupid motherfucker. And he's a governor. Oh, I'm sorry. He's a senator. A congressman, I'm sorry. This idiot, stupid son of a bitch. Told you we live in some fucked up times right now when we dealing with these stupid people.
Or I want to assault to various family members. Now I got to do a background check. So I think it really hinders law-abiding citizens more than anyone. And I can guarantee you, criminals are not going into and buying guns legally. They're stealing them or they're using straw purchases. So I don't think it impacts the criminal, but it does impact law-abiding citizens.
Well, actually, what it doesn't do, it doesn't impact sales between family members, or loaning a gun to a family member, for example, or law enforcement, or even in a situation that puts someone in imminent danger.
First of all, you know, and that's another thing they like to do. They like to keep talking about the criminals getting the guns, but you do nothing about those fucking Listen, people, let me just explain something to you. See, the one lie that they lie about is that there's a lot of stolen guns. Let me just explain something to you, people. A lot of these people that own these guns their guns are not getting stolen. Okay? What's usually happening, and listen, and I know listen, the reason I know this is because number one, I did research on this shit, but number two, I know people that have done this shit before. Okay? They give a gun to a friend or a family member that they selling that they don't want no more, whatever the situation is. They may be going through financial issues and shit, so they need the money. It's all types of different reasons of why people do shit, stupid shit like this. But it's irresponsible for people to do this. I'm not trying to take the side of these motherfuckers that do shit like this, but I'm just giving you the reasons of why some of them do stupid shit like this. And they sell these guns to this criminal or whoever it may be, right? And then they turn around and report the gun stolen, even though they already sold the gun. Okay? And that's usually why you hear about guns are getting stolen. It's not, a lot of guns are not getting stolen out of people's houses like that. That's not true. It's very, 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 very low percentage of that happening. Okay? And we in a time in technology now where people got a lot of cameras, a lot of security. So it's not as easy as people think of people stealing guns out of people's houses and shit, and cars and shit like that. It's very rare. Okay? The percentage is very low. Now, the other reason why criminals get guns is because of the simple fact of people, I forgot what they call that shit, but when they go to them where they sell them guns, like you can go out of state and go to them little gun fairs and shit. They sell people guns. They sell criminals guns. And it's a loophole in the process of that, to where those people that sell those criminals those guns, they get away with it. They don't have a law for that. It's a loophole in the law, actually, that they do have, that they won't fix. And that's why criminals are getting guns. It's not fucking rocket scientist, but he won't tell you that. He keep trying to act like, you know, we making it harder on criminal. Basically what they saying, they don't want to make it harder for criminals to get guns. Because 95% of the people in the country, or 90% of the people, or 85, around that percentage of people, no matter what color skin they are, what race they are, excuse me, what political party you are from, if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever, everybody support gun laws that the House just passed. It's the fucking Congress people, these Republicans, and Joe Manchin pussy. I don't know why the Democrats do not go hard on this nigga, but I know why they don't, because they pussies they damn self. But anyway, they need to get somebody to primary that motherfucker. Because like I said, listen, it's two reasons that they're going to lose the House and lose the presidency. And it's going to be because of Joe Manchin, and it's going to be because of Joe Biden. And it's going to be all their fault, really. But it's going to be mainly because Joe Biden won't push them motherfucking Democrat senators and pull Joe Manchin to the side like, hey, man, you're going to fuck this shit up for the Democrats. We need to have the power so we can fix this country, because it's out of control. Putting it in the Republicans' hands is going to fuck this country up. But, you know, anyway. So that's the reason why a lot of this shit is happening, people. But they don't want to tell you that. But let's move on.
Do any of those things. And in fact, it could,
depends on the family member.
Congressman, it could have prevented, according to factcheck.org, it could have prevented the 2019 massacre in Odessa, Texas, that, as you know, killed 7 people, injured 22 people, including a 17-month-old girl, because the shooter in that case bought the gun from a private seller. Why is it not helpful to background check in private sales? Help me understand that.
Well, first of all, I would say that some family members are exempt, but not all. It hinders law-abiding citizens the most. I do believe all commercial gun sales
Respectfully,
should have the
Congressman,
background check.
Seth Ator, who carried out the Odessa shooting in 2019, wasn't a law-abiding citizen. In fact, in 2014, he failed a background check to buy a gun from a licensed seller. So wouldn't he have failed the background check again if it was mandated in the private sale?
I'm sorry, you came in broken, Poppy. So you're saying there's someone that bought a gun illegally? Well, he should have been prosecuted. Is someone?
No, he
was prosecuted already, but he already killed people. And the reason that you didn't, that the family gun owner, whoever it was that owned the gun that sold it to that dude, which was a family member, is no law of saying that he had to go through gun laws for a background check, and that motherfucker got this gun and went to kill all these people and injured 20-something others. Ooh, I swear to God. Listen, man. I don't get it. I listen, people, it's some days that where like I just don't get it. I don't understand why this is so hard for people to understand. This shit is not, listen, you know, the entitlement of American people as a whole, the entitlement that we have, that we think that we should have these things. No, all the time we don't deserve that. Some of us don't deserve to have some of this shit, and sometimes none of us need to have this shit. People, you know, the last time I actually picked up a gun is most likely when my wife bought some new guns and shit, and I grabbed it and shit and, you know, touched it or whatever. That was the last time I touched a gun. But firing a gun, last time I fired some shit, look, most likely the gun range or something like that. But I'm talking about shooting at somebody when I was in the street with an illegal gun. Because number one, I come from street shit, so I don't pull guns out on people unless I'm going to shoot you. So you ain't got to worry about me trying to scare you with a gun. I'm going to shoot your ass. See, some shit I'm not in between of. I'm not in a gray area. I'm an up and down type of person on certain issues and certain situations. I feel my life is being threatened. I pull my gun out, I'm shooting you. That just is what it is. But I got to be very, very clear and careful if it's really a threat. But that takes giving a fuck about the next person just because you're having an argument with them. And people, when you have arguments, a lot of times people threaten you. So that's why I say I'm a good, somewhat good judge of a character of a person. I watch the body language. I know the languages sometimes of how people ready to attack people. I come from street shit, so I know. But, you know, we dealing with this fool, this buffoon fool that's sitting here talking that nonsense shit.
Wouldn't you have failed the background check again if it was mandated in the private sale?
I'm sorry, you came in broken, Poppy. So you're saying there's someone that bought a gun illegally? Well, he should have been prosecuted. If someone is illegal and buying a gun, they should be prosecuted.
Okay. He didn't buy it illegally. He bought it in a private sale, and background checks are not required in private sales, and that's what HR 8 changes. That's what I'm asking you. Why do you think that's a bad idea if it could have prevented the massacre in Odessa?
There surely could have a potential impact here or there, but the vast amount of private citizens.
He said, "This is how. This is what I mean with no care for the people, for others. See, this is what happened when you say when the first thing come out of his mouth. He said, "Well, you know, those things happen here and there. No, they're happening in a lot." But then he jumped right back on the fucking talking points that Republicans do of the majority of American people. Listen to me. 85 to 90% of the American people want this type of gun restrictions and gun laws. So he's lying. Or he's talking about a little small percentage of the people that are fucking nut jobs that want to walk around with guns on them all day to intimidate, to feel strong, you know, to feel strong and cover up their insecurities. Want to pretend that they police officers or fucking, you know, think they Batman or Superman or some shit out here, think they action heroes. Because they're really inside, they're a bunch of pussies. But you see how he nonchalant, how just the lack of empathy, here a few there that happens. No, it happens a lot. It just happened again. A day or two ago, what are you talking about? In the last 7 days, it been domestic terrorist shootings 7 days straight. That they don't even talk about all of them on mainstream media. Come on, man. You wonder why America is fucked up. These are the same people that try to teaching your kids this nonsense shit. This ain't about no left agenda, motherfucker. People dying. We don't know if any of those people that died in the last 7 days and multiple domestic terrorist shootings. We don't know if they was Republicans or Democrats or gun owners or not. Nobody knows, and you know what? Nobody gives a goddamn. We know they did though, because stupid Republicans do not want gun laws, gun restrictions, thorough background checks. Listen, the problem I have with the Republican Party, they always got excuses. Always got excuses for shit. Tragedies. Thoughts and prayers. Nobody gives a fuck. How about you understand that a lot of people in America ain't religious, so your thoughts and prayers don't mean shit. We don't care. You are a lawmaker. Do something about it. We don't give a fuck about Ted Cruz and the rest of them Republicans. Thoughts and prayers. Talking about they want to make this, they want to do this propaganda, they want to start, you know, making the show. Motherfucker, the show is already popping. People just died, and you just want to give thoughts and prayers and move on to the next tragedy. You don't want to do anything about it. Not a goddamn thing. Children die. You get less fuck about that, but you weren't about women having abortions. Are you fucking kidding me? They were about the wrong, I told y'all, they were about the wrong shit. They don't know how to mind their business. About stupid shit. For 2 weeks, these motherfuckers was talking about books being canceled. Cancel culture. For 2 weeks. Instead of talking about the stimulus bill of helping people. Shitting on the stimulus bill, but they still don't take the money in their states And the stupid motherfuckers that came out and said, oh, they're going to stop. They're going to tell their state not to take the money. The audacity of you. Everybody in your state don't believe that they don't need that money. People actually do need it that didn't vote for you. The audacity, the nerve, the arrogance, the lack of humanity. But these people keep telling us, Joe Biden and these motherfucking conservative ass Democrats want to keep talking about bipartisan shit. Let's reach across the aisle. Reach across the aisle for what? When you're amongst stupid people, when you're amongst people that don't have any empathy or humanity in them, they only give a fuck about themselves because you know what? The country was built on it. It was built on being selfish. It was built on not giving a fuck about others. Our people, black folks, we know very well about America. And still don't give a fuck about black people. But we all one, right? We all American. We ain't all shit. This fucked up country has been fucked up for a long time. Children are dying in schools from these motherfuckers. The blood is all on their hands. And let me just explain something to everybody. Don't fucking Democrats, if these motherfuckers do not get rid of that fucking filibuster, and another mass shooting happens, it's on them. It's on the fucking Democrats too. Enough is enough. Innocent people just died, people, for nothing. For nothing. These people did not wake up giving a fuck about being a politician, giving a fuck about no politicians, about policy, and none of that shit. They weren't worrying about, the difference with, the dividing who wearing a mask, don't wear a mask. Nobody give a fuck about Dr. Seuss books. They weren't giving a fuck about none of that shit. You know what they was thinking about? They woke up and said, you know what? I need to go to the market to get me some food. They give a fuck about none of this dumb shit that these politicians and these stupid people on mainstream media want to keep talking about. And they died. They ain't give a fuck about no Second Amendment. They ain't give a fuck about the First Amendment. They give a fuck about none of that. They was worried about going to get some food, and these people died. And you think about the aftermath of the people that even survived that shit, of the tragedy, it was kids in that fucking supermarket as well. How that fucks a child up. The effect of that. This is why universal health care helps too, because we can go and say, you know what? Make sure you take your kids and get them help. Let them go see a therapist. By the U.S. government, taxpayers' money that we pay. These motherfuckers are unbelievable. But we're sitting around talking about theater and, the Democrats this and the Republicans. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. It's all a distraction. You keep bringing up criminals. And I told y'all a live stream two live streams ago, I told y'all, and you will hear it with this motherfucker. All they care about is locking people up to make money. This is what all this is about. You heard a fucking police officer in the tragedy of what happened to those Asian American people down there in Atlanta. You know what that motherfucker said about the fucking domestic terrorists? He had a bad day. What? You ain't never heard no fucking police chief come out and say that about any black criminal that committed any multiple terrorist shootings in the black community. You never heard him say that. He was a violent criminal. He has the background of this. You say nothing about him being mentally ill. Even when the motherfuckers that you do kill that's black, that's mentally ill, you don't even bring it up. You talk about the criminal record. But this white son of a bitch that did what he did, he had a bad day. Fuck that police. He need to resign just because he ain't shit. He ain't gonna never be shit. And people like him ain't shit. That think like that cocksucker. He had a bad day. Made no goddamn sense or whatever of this motherfucker tell you I had a sex addiction, and it, I looked at these Asian people place of businesses and it triggered my sex addiction. What the fuck? What the fuck? Let's move on, man. All these people make me angry, man.
Yeah, if it could have prevented the massacre in Odessa.
There surely could have a potential impact here or there, but the vast amount of private citizens would be impacted by this. It puts a lot of onerous weight on their shoulders, and I do think the commercial sales, it's the right thing to do. But I think I saw it where.
Let me explain something to you. That shit don't even make any sense. Let me just explain something to you. I'm gonna tell you this, people. If you listen, some people are infatuated with having guns. It's like a trophy. I get that. But what's the problem of waiting on to get those guns if you ain't got nothing? You already own guns. What's the problem of the laws being stricter for you to get these guns and you wait a little longer? How's that hurting you? How's that you're not being protected? And then they like to bring up domestic violence women. What if a woman needs a gun and domestic? Let me just explain something to you, people. Most likely, what they don't tell you is that a big percentage of police officers do a lot of domestic violence to their girlfriends and their wives. Fact. They don't tell you that shit. And they law enforcement. And what they do not tell you as well is this is why the police unions are too goddamn powerful, and that's why the police get away with this type of shit. They cover it up. They cover this shit up. Let me just explain something to you, people. If you working at a job, if you are a custodian that works at a school with children, and I know this for a fact, if you have some type of domestic violence incident with your girlfriend or a friend of your wife or something like that, people, you will lose your job. Fuck a suspension. And even if they put you on suspension, you don't get paid for not working. Okay? So it's fucking unbelievable to me that police officers that commit domestic violence with their spouse or their girlfriends or whoever they with their wives, and these motherfuckers if they do get suspended, they still get paid. While they on investigation. You can't trust this motherfucker being in the field. Let's just move on, man. But like I said, they covered this shit up. And then they always say, well, the charges got dropped. Usually the charges get dropped. It's most likely because whoever that woman is, most likely is so afraid, or this nigga, whoever the fuck it is, the guy or police officer, whoever, mainly definitely police officers. What they do is they tell them, look, I'm going to lose everything if you go along with this. You're going to ruin the family. They blame the woman. It's a goddamn fact that this happens. But they don't tell you that. And like I said before, when we first started talking about, I don't give a damn about no motherfucking gun owner having to wait a little bit to get another gun. What you getting all the guns for? Okay, you like guns. You like the, whatever, hunt, whatever. Wait on the goddamn gun. You got guns already. What the fuck is the problem? Nobody's saying you can't have a gun. We just want to make sure the background check is correct. Listen, just because a motherfucker is a good gun owner doesn't mean that he ain't got no baggage right now. When he first probably purchased the gun, shit probably looked good. He go try to get another gun, and he may be going through some mental illness shit. This motherfucker might have just got out of, the psych ward for all the fuck we know. But you want somebody to sell this person a gun. Man, please, man, let's move on, man. These people are fucking ridiculous.
Great thing to do. But I think I saw it where it's maybe 1%.
I'm sorry, Congressman, here or there. I mean, tell that to the families that lost 7 loved ones in Odessa.
And I told you, and that's exactly what Poppy said. The nerve of this dude talking about hearing that. Say that to the fucking family members that lost their wives, their children. It's not once in a blue. It's not very rare. This shit has been happening for years. We are having it. And then Ted Cruz, or whoever the fuck it was, I don't know, fuck all the fucking Republican senators, they all the fucking same. Okay? Yes, and I'm stereotyping. Fuck them motherfuckers. Motherfucker talking about we need to really nobody's talking about domestic terrorism and shit like that. And the Muslims, we don't group up. People had a problem with grouping all the Muslims together, which is true. But then you want to group all white people. Listen, motherfucker, y'all are the ones that did that. You did not see a whole bunch of black folks out there marching, blaming Muslims for the terrorist attacks. We didn't blame Muslims, Americans for that. You didn't see us doing the shit that white folks will go out and do. Some of you, not all of you, but a lot of you did it. Some black people, you was into it too. Some of you motherfuckers out there doing that shit too. But you didn't see a black movement of black people rolling out there marching against Muslim Americans. We seen that from white folks. Some of you. We seen a lot of you, believe it or not. At that period of time. For years you did that shit. But now it's white domestic terrorism that's the most dangerous fucking race in the country. You want all of a sudden, let's not stereotype. Well, it wasn't a black dude that ran up in the goddamn supermarket and killed people. It wasn't a Muslim. It wasn't Black Lives Matter or Antifa. It wasn't a black man or Black Lives Matter or Antifa that killed those Asian American people down there in Georgia. It wasn't a black kid that ran up into a school and shot schools up. Killed elementary school kids. Kids that's my daughter age, but probably is old, they would be older now. But at the time, it was my daughter age. Your kids' age. Elementary school kids. That wasn't Black Lives Matter. That wasn't Antifa. That wasn't no Muslim. That was a white boy that had, my understanding, had a lot of mental issues. And his mama, that bitch should go to jail because she made it so, had so much easy access for this dude to get a gun. And then the gun laws was fucked up too at that time, and still is, but they was worse then. And we can go on and on. Down there, what happened in Texas? Whole bunch of shit happening. There's a whole bunch of these white domestic terrorist shit happening almost every year. Multiple times. But you don't want to focus on that because it's going to make all us white people look bad. You do it to black folks. You do it to Muslims. Oh, I'm sorry. You just did it to Asian Americans. That's why they're getting attacked and getting killed. Because you motherfucking, some of you white cracker ass crackers went along with Donald Trump lie and the way how he described Asian Americans. But I just want to say this too to some of you Asian Americans that try to sit out there and deflect your fucking pain and deflect the white supremacy that was coming to you that you like to ignore a lot. Don't try to blame black people for you getting fucked up. I'm going to tell you again, we whip ass. It don't matter what color skin you are. We'll fuck you up. That's what we do. We don't pick a color. Whoever's in the front talking shit, we whip ass. Right or wrong. But that's what we do. We don't pick color. But your white counterparts do. It wasn't no black president. It wasn't Barack Obama saying it's the China virus. It's the Chinese virus. Was that Barack? Was that the black dude? Was that the goddamn black president? Huh? The nigga that you love to hate. Was that him? Did you see Black Lives Matter getting in groups, going around in the pandemic, blaming Chinese Americans for what China did? Discriminating against them. Was that us? Was that Black Lives Matter? Was that our people? Well, I'm sorry. Was it the immigrants? Was it the Mexican Americans? Was it any of them? No. It was you ignorant, racist pieces of shit, and some of you sellout races of people, and you some of you coon niggas out there promoting that hate speech. Putting a target on the fucking Asian Americans. So what happened is, few months later, what happened down in Atlanta? A white domestic terrorist, rapist, racist Trump supporter that lied and said he had a sex addiction. First of all, I wouldn't give a fuck if he did or not. That may make you go out and kill people. It make you go out and fuck women. Don't make you pick up a gun and go kill Asian people. You stupid motherfuckers. You bunch of stupid people if you believe that shit. But you had that Chinese bitch, that Asian bitch that was on fucking mainstream media, did that little 60-minute bullshit, try to blame black people for certain incidents you seen black people fucking up Asian people. But they didn't show the white boys on mainstream media beat a old Chinese woman up because they stole a beer out of her store. But they didn't show y'all that. Children, and the parents raised them bastards. But we sitting here thinking that we should have Tell Joe Biden to kiss my ass about reaching across the aisle and bipartisan shit. How do you rationalize and have rational conversations with people that ignore shit like this? What is them? What about black lives? Fuck you. You don't compare your shit to none of our shit. Every chance they had to wear masks, these bitches talk about it's like slavery, segregation. Man, get the fuck out of here. These are the people that they want us to have, learn to live with. I don't want to learn to live with these stupid motherfuckers. Stay the fuck away from me. And keep your fucked up ass beliefs to yourself because you're a bunch of ignorant, heartless human beings. And it's bad for my spirit to be around stupid people like you. fucking with my spirit and shit. Now get the fuck out of here, man. These people crazy. This motherfucker still here making excuses. Yeah, but the American citizen, it just, you know, it rarely happens. Yeah, what the fuck? It just happened 7 days straight. It rarely happens. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I saw it where it's maybe 1%.
I'm sorry,
impact
Congressman,
on these
here or
kids.
there. I mean, tell that to the lives, the families that lost 7 loved ones in Odessa, or the 17-month-old that was shot.
If those who are doing the gun violence should be held accountable. I want to protect law-abiding citizens and not put onerous weight on their shoulders.
First of all, we're not talking about, they already committed the crime. Of course, yeah, they should be accountable. And they most likely usually do. We're talking about trying to prevent these motherfuckers from committing these violence. For committing murders, mass murders. This motherfucker talking about the after. Okay, after, yeah, they get prosecuted. The fuck are you talking about? We're talking about preventing it. Or at least trying to prevent the situation to happen. Hopefully, we can prevent a whole bunch of people, not a lot of people getting killed. And I'm not trying to undermine a person getting killed in a situation like this, but, you know, maybe at least, maybe it would have probably been half. Maybe 5 people maybe would have died instead of 10. And not taking the other 5 people like life, you know, like it ain't nothing, but I'm just saying. This motherfucker went out there with an AR-15, and you notice this is always the gun that they have. Because they really are trying to kill a whole bunch of people. Motherfucker brought up handguns. That's usually because they put automatics on handguns. Letting them just shoot automatically.
Gun violence should be held accountable. I want to protect law-abiding citizens and not put onerous weight on their shoulders. But those who are
Shouldn't
guilty of gun
someone
violence
selling a
surely
gun
should be prosecuted.
have a lot of weight on their shoulders? I don't know if it's onerous
should.
for them to know who they're selling it to.
It is my responsibility to know who I'm selling a gun to, but I shouldn't have to do it to my neighbor if I know them. It's
That don't even make any sense. It don't make any sense. He said, I shouldn't know. Yeah, it's my responsibility to know who I'm selling my gun to, but I don't think it's the responsibility of my neighbor. I mean, for me to have a responsibility to, like it doesn't matter because it's my neighbor. That's basically what he's saying. I shouldn't have to be questioning my neighbor to sell them a gun. What? What? Man, these people need to just jump off the roof and just kill themselves. Seriously, man. Just jump off the roof, man. None of this shit makes any sense. Or what he's saying. None of it. None of it makes any sense, my people. It's just stupidity. It's just blatantly lying to ignorant, stupid people that believe in this nonsense. On one hand, yeah, it's my responsibility if I don't know the person. But then on the other hand, no, it's not really. We shouldn't be grilling my neighbor because it's my neighbor. I live across the street or down the street from him. I drink beers with him. His kids play with my kids. Like, you know everything that goes on into somebody's family. Because you their neighbor. I don't know what goes on in people's houses. And first of all, unless kids are getting molested or the woman getting abused, I don't give a fuck what happens in somebody's house. I don't care. None of my motherfucking business anyway. I'm not qualified to be telling other people how to run their household. I'm only responsible and qualified to run mine. And just because I know you, motherfucker, don't mean shit. That same neighbor can go around and say you, listen, say you know a neighbor, right? Y'all cool, your kids play, your wives hang out, y'all have couples dinners and all that shit. All the little shit that they, these crackers talking about. Listen. And then somehow, some way, the motherfucker that you sold a gun to, your neighbor, right? And you sleep with his wife. And this motherfucker take that same gun and kill your stupid ass. It's a bunch of stupid people, man. Let's just move on, man. Bunch of idiots, man. Listen, man. Listen, all the stupid people, stay the fuck away from me, man. You lower my IQ, okay? You lower my shit. You make me start thinking stupid. Oh, fuck. Listen, I ain't the most smartest person in the world, people, but goddamn, man. Shit, I want to at least keep the little bit of education I got, a little bit of smarts and, a little bit of IQ that I do have, a little bit of self-awareness that I do have. I told you we dealing with stupid people, man. Oh, these motherfuckers kill me, man.
But I shouldn't have to do it to my neighbor if I know them. It's owners wait on the First Amendment rights of the 99.9% of our citizens who are law-abiding. And so the weight of legislation should be against the criminals, not against law-abiding citizens.
First of all, that is not true. And people, listen, usually people that are family people that's bound by the law and shit like that, that is good citizens and shit, where you think criminals came from? They usually was a good citizen in the beginning. You thought everybody, motherfucker just was born a criminal? I told you the fucking the ideology of these people is fucking hilarious, dude. Motherfuckers think, hey, they was born criminals. Criminals was before they was criminals, they was regular citizens, motherfucker. They was law-abiding. Some of them was law-abiding citizens. And shit happens. They turned the crowd. The fuck going on around here, nigga? Nigga, I was a law-abiding citizen till I was about 15. And then, I ain't gonna say out of the blue, but situations happen. I wound up getting involved in criminal activities. I was a fucking child. I was okay. I was good. Bound by the law. I've been out of the game 20-something years, dude. The fuck? I'm a law-abiding citizen, motherfucker. Fuck out of here. Oh, we dealing with stupid people, man. We dealing with stupid people. Oh, my God, man. Let's move on, people. Oh, my God. Oh, man, we got to get rid of these stupid people, man. These people need, listen, they could be a regular, let's let them be regular stupid people, but they should not have they should not be in any type of powerful positions, man, where they get to create and make laws, man. They should not be a part of this shit. I'm serious, LT. This shit is hilarious, dude. Oh, my God. I can't believe we're amongst these stupid people, man.
Who are law-abiding. And so the weight of legislation should be against the criminals, not against law-abiding citizens.
Let's move on to HR 1446. This is
Motherfuckers say the law should be against the criminals, not the law-abiding citizens. What are you talking about? Like I was just laughing about at first. Some of these people have never committed crimes in their life, and then they wind up going off committing terrorist attacks. What the fuck is he talking about? But the American government don't want to have gun control laws and let this motherfucker get a gun. Which he probably wasn't. If they did a thorough background check on this motherfucker, he probably wasn't okay to have a gun. Listen, people. We's dealing with stupid people, man. Let's move on, man. Let's move on.
their House bill that you voted against. And what that would do is it would close the Charleston loophole, which is that after 3 days, if a gun seller doesn't complete a background check, if for some reason it gets caught up in paperwork, it doesn't come through, right now, that gun seller legally has to sell the gun to the person. And what this bill would do that you voted against extends that to 10 days. It says, let's wait a little bit longer. You have 10 days and a maximum of 30 days to get that background check through. This is how the white supremacist Dylan Roof, as you know, got his gun and then carried it into that church in Charleston and murdered 9 people during Bible study. Why is it a bad idea to close that loophole?
The facts are that this would not have stopped Dylan Roof from buying that gun subsequently after they've researched it. I could maybe
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true, people. This man is blatantly on national TV lying. Listen, people, he would have never got that gun. If they did a real serious background check on this dude, he wouldn't have got that. He wouldn't have got those weapons. And big up to Poppy for calling that motherfucker what he really actually is, instead of people tiptoeing around it, just calling it a mass shooting in the church. That motherfucker was a domestic terrorist, a white supremacist. Big up to Poppy, okay, from CNN. The fuck is going on? What is going on in America, boy? Listen, let's move on. This motherfucker a lie. Poppy get ready to check his ass too because he lying and shit.
Close that loophole.
The facts are that this would not have stopped Dylan Roof from buying that gun subsequently after they've researched it. I could maybe support
that's actually, Congressman, that's actually not the fact. I went through all the data on this. That is not a proven fact.
Well, I've seen the corrected data saying he would have still had it. Here's the problem.
And they always do that. They always get some old fucked up data that some fucking Republican nut job then came up with some fucking crazy ass data that is a fucking lie. Just like listen, you know what's so crazy about this? They use data that support their agenda, right? Doesn't mean that it's factual. It doesn't mean that it is factual. I mean that is not factual. Like it could be factual, but it maybe could not be, right? So, but the thing is about it is that they use the data from people that got this ideology that think that having guns or having stricter gun laws, it wouldn't have changed certain things. So why do we even have any laws then? If we shouldn't, like, you think that a woman ain't going to go to another state and get an abortion? She's going to find a state to get an abortion at. We shouldn't have any laws then. People shouldn't have it shouldn't be a law that people wear seat belts and none of that shit. We shouldn't have laws if none of this shit would have prevent the outcome of these heinous actions. Right? So we shouldn't have no laws. We shouldn't have no insurance or none of this shit because it's not necessarily a fact that, you know, you're going to get in a hit and run situation, but you put these laws in so you can protect the people and at the same time, hopefully stop these people from committing crimes because they think about the repercussions of their actions before they do it. You go do all the, listen, people, it is so hard. It's so harder to get a driver's license. It's actually even harder now, even before I got mine. And I got mine much later in life. But, you know, I got it like in my late 20s or something. I like 28 or something like that. It took me a while to get the shit. And I had to go through all this other shit, get permits and, you know, I had to go to driver's school and I kept failing the motherfucking permit test and I couldn't go get my driver's license or I couldn't take the test without getting my permit. But I kept failing the motherfucking permit test. Okay, so you jump through hoops, people, to get a fucking driver's license to drive a car. But these motherfuckers, guns kill more people in this country than somebody driving a fucking car. But it's harder to get a fucking license and actually get in the car. I don't even think you can get a car without having insurance. Or put like this, you probably can get a car, but you can't drive that bitch. And if you decide to drive that bitch without insurance, you go to jail. It's all types of hoops. But they don't want to. And that's your First Amendment to basically drive a car. You should get a car. It's your right to get a fucking car and drive it. But they got rules and regulations around that before you get that car and can drive it actually. Now, if you decide to be a stupid human being to get in the car without any of those things, then you know you're committing a crime. And it's the same thing with guns. Because I know they like to always keep bringing up driving a car and shit like that. It's not the same, but people do die in car accidents. People are not getting cars to kill people. Just like a lot of times people don't get guns to kill people. They get guns to protect themselves. People get cars to, maybe because they like cars. Some people get cars so they can drive around, get to their job. Whatever the situation is, it may be. But it's very much more harder for you to get a fucking license than you could go out and get a gun. It's very easy to get a gun faster and quicker than you can go get a license, people. It takes months to get fucking license. It takes months. But you can get a motherfucking gun in a couple of days. And it's very, very easier to kill a motherfucker with a gun than a car. I know more people that drive vehicles, that have a vehicle because they need a vehicle to get back and forth to work or wherever they need to get, but scared to drive. My mother-in-law, don't drive like that. She won't drive distance, nigga. She may drive to go to the doctor's or something, to go to the grocery store that's right down the street from her, but she's not driving. She won't drive to my house. And we probably maybe about 15 to 20 minutes. It depends what the traffic is. If it's rush hour or something like that, maybe 30. She won't drive here. And it's not on a highway or no shit like that. She just won't drive here. It's too long for her. She afraid to drive that far. So some people don't get vehicles because they feel, because they like vehicles. Some people just get them because they need them. Just like I understand people get guns to want to protect themselves. I understand all that. But people jump through more hoops to get a fucking driver's license to get a car than a fucking gun. To get a gun. It's very easy to get a gun. And I want to say this one last thing before we move on. When you do even get your license, you have to keep renewing that motherfucker every 2 to 3 years or something. That shit depends where you live, but I think it's like 3 to 4 years or something like that down here. It could be 2 years. But in certain states you got, and your tags and shit like that, you got to go renew your tags and all types of shit. And if you don't do neither one of those things, even though you have a license or renewing your you don't do none of that shit, you can't drive your car. Now, if you can drive your car if you want to, your ass going to jail. But they won't even let people, like, every 5 years, I believe that they should be making people go through a new background check with guns. Figure if a motherfucker's still stable to have a gun. See, the problem is when the so-called forefathers put this shit at the Second Amendment to bear arms, it almost make people feel like they entitled to have guns. No, I want to make this very clear to any gun owner, which I am one. It is a responsibility to have a fucking weapon. That's why if you kill somebody unlawfully, or you just willy-nilly kill somebody with a fucking gun, you go to jail. It's not just a right that you have, it's a responsibility. And I don't give a fuck how many hoops you gotta jump around to keep your gun or to get a gun. This motherfucker, like I said, this motherfuckers out here that don't like to drive and scared to drive, but they gotta get the car because they need to get that car to get back and forth, to pick up their medicine, to go to the doctor's appointment that they need. My mother-in-law got diabetes. Like, she gotta have these things. To go to the grocery store to get food. She got a bad foot. She can't be walking to no motherfucking store. But they make people jump through hoops for a fucking license to drive a car, but they don't want to make people jump through hoops to get a fucking gun or keep a gun? The fuck out of here, man. And we're not talking about people gotta take the written test all over again to get the gun. We're talking about just going to renew your fucking gun license. Go there, see if you mentally okay to have a fucking gun. Do another background check on you. See what trouble you got into. That's all. But I told you, people, we're not dealing with people with humanity. We're dealing with people that are very selfish and don't give a fuck about others. That's why children die in schools. That's why our children are dying in these streets from gun violence. They don't give a fuck. They keep making it very, very easier It's so easy for these so-called criminals and gangbangers to go get these guns and these domestic terrorists. It's easy to get them guns. Listen, people, we're talking about children in our community getting guns. They're not even old enough legally to get these guns. We're talking about 12 to 14 to 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. Half of these motherfuckers can't even pee in the toilet straight. And you want to get them guns? You want to make it so easy access for them to get illegal guns? For grown-ass adults selling these kids these guns. Yeah, all right.
That is not a proven fact.
Well, I've seen the corrected data saying he would have still had it. Here's the problem. It's not just 10 days. It's another 10 days if they don't have the first 10 done. And like you said, it goes to 30 days.
That's only a month.
If you're
That's only a month, Congressman, and we're talking about lives. So many lives lost. Is a month not worth waiting?
So if you're an abused woman and you want to get a gun to protect yourself, you have to wait 30 days. I don't think that's good. That's not good for you. That's also abridging your First Amendment or your Second Amendment rights.
So you don't necessarily, I hear you, and violence against women is, you strike at my heart when you say that. I understand what you're saying. But I can also tell you that FBI data from just 2018 shows that 90%.
Yeah, but what he don't tell you is that like I brought up earlier, that the law enforcement, a very high percentage of them, of the data shows that they commit a lot of domestic violence, and they get covered up, or they hide it and get away with the shit. And they have guns. Man, I don't know. Listen, man, I don't know what's going on in America, man. We dealing with a lot of shit. Like this, the heartlessness of these people.
Women is, you strike at my heart when you say that. I understand what you're saying. But I can also tell you that FBI data from just 2018 shows that 90% of NICS background checks, right, what that woman would be going in and going through a NICS background check, they go through in minutes. So yes, there would be some exceptions where it may take up to 30 days. And we don't want any woman to be in danger. But I am saying that the data...
You said the same word I said. Exceptions, and we know that women have been murdered waiting to get a gun.
I hear you. But I also...
First of all, you know how you help women? Instead of, see, this is what they talk about, more guns. See, this is the problem. See, what they should be doing, that we should be having more programs for women that are in taxpaid by the government or the state or whatever, paid by the government to help these women out, to get these women out these relationships. That's what we should be doing, not pushing them to go get a weapon to kill this dude. You're just creating more violence. But like I told you, America has always been about violence. It's like the same shit they told the teachers when that shit happened down there in Florida with those high school kids that they got their school shot up. No, we just gonna train teachers and get them qualified to have guns in school. What? What? You want to commit more violence? Listen, I've been to a public school in the inner city that where probably about 50% of motherfuckers that went to that school carried guns to school. And all it did, and the reason half of that 50% of those motherfuckers that carried guns to school was carrying guns to school because the other half of these motherfuckers had guns, so they got guns to protect themselves. We're talking about children. And what happens? More violence happens. More people get shot, get killed. More innocent people die. First of all, let's put this in perspective, because these people, they keep claiming they give a fuck about mental illness, right? People being mentally ill. Think about this too. See, because this is why I say I could debunk anything they say, because these people don't think rationally. Imagine what he's saying. This woman been abused. We don't know how long, but she been abused for a while. So she mentally is broken. And so she goes out, and mind you, they do a little background check, but they don't fully do a good, real mental background check on this woman, because, you know, they don't have the time. It's not by law, whatever the situation may be. And she go, and they find out that she can get the gun. And she gets the gun. And then she goes home with that gun and saying, the next time this motherfucker even attempt to put fear in me, like he get ready to hit me, I'm going to shoot and kill him. And she does. And then look what happens, because she's mentally unstable, because he's been abusing her, not just physically, mentally. And so she decides to kill this motherfucker because she flinched, because she's mentally unstable because of this motherfucker. But the law let her get a gun. And she kills this motherfucker just because he made a sudden move, and she kills this motherfucker. And she feel like her life was in danger. Okay? And then she panics because she's mentally not stable because of this motherfucker. And so she panics, and she has children in the motherfucking house, and she feels that she's going to get in trouble, not rationally thinking, mind you, because she's mentally unstable. And she kills her kids. And then she turns the gun and kills herself. You think that was a person that should have a gun? Ask yourselves that, people. Should that woman have a gun? Because you don't know what she's capable of doing, because she's mentally unstable from this motherfucker physically and mentally abusing her. But they want to give her a gun. Not saying that she's a criminal, just saying she's been victimized. And she's not mentally stable to have a fucking gun. Facts. But hey, you know, it's your constitutional right to give mentally ill people guns because they've been abused. You stupid motherfuckers. I swear to God, we deal with stupid people, man. I swear to God. Rittenhauser, that motherfucker, he wasn't even old enough to get a gun. He took his stimulus check from the government that they gave him, Trump and them, gave everybody, but gave him. He took that motherfucking stimulus check money and bought a gun. Okay? Well, I'm sorry. He got his friend that was old enough that this motherfucker brain ain't fully developed yet. So he buys the gun, which he shouldn't have bought it for him, which another thing where that motherfucker should be in jail. And I'm glad he's charged, and he should be charged with murder as well. And then mind you, that dude that bought the gun for Rittenhauser, his parents knew. Just like Rittenhouse, mom knew that he took that stimulus money and gave it to the friend so the friend can buy the gun for him. See, we're not dealing with rational adults. These are adults that's teaching the kids. If you don't teach the kids when they're young about responsibility and about law, they're going to break the law. They ain't going to give a fuck about the law. Actually, we help create criminals. We give them all the opportunities to do it. It was something that was I was watching a couple of days ago. I was watching the movie All Eyes on Me with Tupac, right? Tupac movie, All Eyes on Me. And there was something in there. It was a quote in there that Miss Afeni Shakur, the woman that was playing Miss Afeni Shakur, but Miss Afeni Shakur said this to Tupac, right? And she said to Pac, she said, listen to me. They're going to give you all the tools to destroy yourself. The government going to give you all the tools to destroy yourself. And at the time, Pac didn't say anything, I don't think, at the time. But then, a couple of months later, or something like that, in Pac life, he wound up getting arrested for rape, which he did never get convicted of. Which the girl lied. Okay? But they charged Pac. Pac, the only one went to jail. Everybody else got off. Other than Pac. The motherfuckers that maybe they didn't rape her or somebody did rape her, whatever may have happened. They ran a train on her or whatever. They didn't go to jail. Pac went to jail. And he go to jail. And Pac sits down with his mother. She come to visit him in jail. And he tells his mother, he said, Mom, you was right. They're going to give you all that. They gave me all the opportunities to destroy myself. And let me explain something to the grown-ass adults out here that is out here raising these fucking children. Us as a whole, as adults and parents. These politicians are giving us all the opportunities to destroy ourselves and our children. If we don't put a stop to this bullshit. We're getting our children killed because we want to live under this American fantasy like this shit is actually good for the people. It is not. It is based on white men controlling a country. White women, you had no say, just like you think, okay, you was a little bit more powerful than a black person in those days. But you know, if you got out of line with your husband and didn't live under his same ideology, that white man, he would treat you like he would treat a nigga. He would abuse you and rape you just like he did our ancestors. So you're not that much better. And then look at you now, white women. When you are being disrespected in the workplace where you work at, look how these politicians and these powerful business people or these people that are over top of you in these CEO positions or supervisor positions, how they just say, you know, it's not sexual harassment for me to grab you and kiss you or put my hands on you and touch you, present you with a proposition to say you can get this job or, you know, you can move up if you give me some of that pussy. Let me get a little kiss, a little feel. Look what they do to you. Oh, and we know it's 10 times worse for black women. Oh, and if black men don't sell out, oh shit, we don't get ahead at all. We got to sell our souls. My point is here, people, if we do not check ourselves, we're raising kids If we don't educate and check ourselves, we're raising and teaching our kids to grow up to be even worse than us. And what I mean by that is to be naive about a country that don't give a fuck about all people. When we keep pretending, okay, even though that people say that, doesn't mean that that's how the country was created. The systems from back then are in effect now. Yeah, we changed some laws, we changed some minds, we changed some positions. But a lot more of those same backwards as racist discrimination laws that was created, how the country got created, is still in effect. See, when you look at some of these politicians, don't get it twisted. They was taught this way. That's why you see these stupid ass people saying the stupid shit that they say, because they've been taught this way. Yes, it's their fault to not realizing it, that they being horrible people, or they may even know, but a part of it ain't their fault because they've been raised that way. When will we stop this shit and stop saying, listen, we can't keep focusing on these old ass policies and these old ass constitutions? I'm not saying all the constitutions are bad. I'm just saying a lot of this shit is fucked up. Let's move on, people. That's all I'm saying, man. I try to make common sense to this shit. I don't try to fuck your mind up with all this constitution bullshit, because none of that shit means nothing to me really at the same time, because all that shit is based off of hate and racism and slavery. All those laws, all the constitutions, all that shit wasn't created for all people. It's a lie. It's a fucking lie. And just because a motherfucker write it down there, they can say and write whatever they want. But their actions was different. See, you got to realize this too. A lot of this shit that's in the Constitution, yeah, it was written, it sounded good, but the actions showed differently. I mean, woo, these people, man. These people, I think they lack common sense. They lack education. They lack humanity. And when you and I told you, it's one thing of just being ignorant to shit. It's another thing when you lose your humanity. See, humanity is a big thing, because then if you have humanity, you know how to respect others. You would know how to care about other people. You would be sensitive to others' issues and situations that they're going through. Having humanity is what everybody's supposed to have. And I believe a lot of us have that because we're born pure. But we start getting taught shit and we lose humanity. We are pure when we come out the womb. People, it's the motherfuckers that teach us and the people that's around us with nonsense shit. Let's move on.
But I am saying that the data...
You said the same word I said. Exceptions, and we know that women have been murdered waiting to get a gun.
I hear you. But I also hear and I just laid out for you the case of Dylann Roof. So my question is, do you think that it is a bad idea to make a law that extends it by 10 days, possibly up to 30 days, to make sure you know everything you need to know about the person you're selling the gun to? That's the fundamental question here.
I could make a case for the 10 days if the data backs it up. But then, like you said, it's not just that. They want to go to 30 days. They want to keep extending 10 at a time. And by the way, when that happens...
First of all, people, sometimes data is not common sense. Data is just data. That's why I say, when I talk about a lot of these issues, yes, I use some data and I use statistics and shit like that, but I use more common sense than anything and life experience. And when you have people that don't have any type of common sense to a certain extent, they lost their common sense, right? Lost partly of their common sense, and don't have any humanity and don't have no experience in some of these situations, or have the experience of being around some of this shit that we're talking about, then you get people like this that continue to keep saying nonsense shit like this and have no clue what they're talking about. So they only can go off of data. They only want to make a decision off of data. That's why I keep telling y'all, yeah, listen, it's okay to have, I'm not knocking people for having education. Why would I do that? That's stupid, right? But that doesn't make you qualified or in depth enough to know about an issue, because you only can go by your education of what you've been knowing through education, and just not, you don't have no human interaction or contact, or what a lot of these situations may be. Just like I would never sit there and shit on people that goes to the military. Listen, that's your own personal choice. That's something that you feel that you want to do. Especially now. It's not like back in the day where you was getting drafted. So people are knowing and making these decisions to go, no matter what decision it is that I may disagree why you should get in the army or whatever the situation may be. But that's your choice. But I'm not knocking you for what you go do, because you go put your life on the line. I don't know how it is to be out there in the field. I know the stories that I heard from my brothers and others, but I don't know. So I'm not qualified to sit out there and question your patriotism or your love of the country because you served for a country that I wouldn't serve for, because I don't think this country would have. First of all, they don't deserve me fighting for and sacrificing my life for this country, especially for my people. So that's my own personal reason why I won't serve. But I don't knock nobody for going to serve. That's an honorable thing to me. But I'm not qualified to shit on military people or tell them to a certain extent what they need and don't need out there in that battlefield. But this is what this dude is saying. People that domestic violence happened to, people that had people die in their family from gun violence, from not having stricter gun laws. They don't listen to those people. They listen to gun manufacturers, the NRA, these business owners. These are elite white folks that are dictating this law that needs to be, these laws that need to be passed to protect people. They have no fucking clue. Listen, yes, you will have a woman that went through domestic violence, and maybe some years later, she's out of thinking that. She got out of it somehow, right? But she didn't get out of it because she had a fucking gun. She got out of it because she felt the strength, and mentally it got to the point where she said enough. And she may got some help. But no guns was involved. She got out of it. And let's just be very honest. If a person that is committing domestic violence to a woman, right? She doesn't know if this motherfucker one day just gonna come home and snap and kill her, even if she got a gun. He might just come straight in the door, had a bad day, and you got people that's psychopaths and shit, man. They could come home and don't say nothing and just turn around, go get their gun and go and shoot their spouse. Before their guns, the woman that they beaten can even pull out a gun. See, listen, these people are not thinking rationally of the shit that could happen. Mind you, I'm not speaking of like I've been abused, like domestic violence and no shit like that. But listen, my mom women in my family, women I have friends I know. I was there when I was the kid when my mom got beaten by boyfriends of hers. So I have a little bit of experience in that. Wasn't no gun involved, wasn't nothing going. Listen, you didn't know when this motherfucker get triggered. And like I said, it's not even good that sometimes to even allow women that are mentally abused to have guns because they mentally going through something, depression. I don't think a lot of times these people have ever seen a battered woman. I have. When you see a lot of these women that been abused by their husbands and boyfriends and shit like that, you see the submissive in them. They very submissive in a way of it's kind of scary to see. Like, what the fuck is going on in their household? But like I said, everybody don't have the gift of detecting these type of situations. Everybody's not a good judge of a character. No, a lot of people can't see a lot of shit. I guarantee you, my people, if black people was growing up in schools and killing a whole bunch of white kids, and it consistently happened over and over again, these politicians will try to pass some laws. They will be okay with it because it's killing people that look like them. But by it just being white on white crime, they don't give a fuck. That lets you know some of these white folks out there, they don't even give a fuck about you. Really? And what he don't tell you is that a lot of people that are gun owners, a very high percentage of these people want gun restrictions. Tougher gun restrictions for people to get guns. So when he come out and start talking about the majority of gun owners and citizens don't want these laws to be passed, he's lying. He is fucking lying.
The registration or application for the background check expires, and many states have to go in and reapply. I think it's an onerous weight on law-abiding citizens. I'm here to go after the criminals. I don't want to protect law-abiding citizens' Second Amendment rights.
Congressman, thank you for having this discussion with me. Thank you. Before you go, I do want to ask you this because you served this country bravely for decades, for 30 years overseas, many tours in the Middle East and Iraq. And you hear a lot after all of these mass shootings and after Boulder that Americans should not buy weapons of war. And I heard that yesterday from the former police chief of Aurora, Colorado. Listen to what he told me.
Why aren't we demanding more of the folks who actually set gun control policy in this country, our elected leaders? It's a weapon of war, and I think most police chiefs in this country would agree it doesn't belong on the streets of America.
What do you think? Do we need another assault?
And I'm going to say this, and this might rub some people the wrong way, but I don't give a fuck that he served. He shouldn't be a politician. He shouldn't be a politician. Because sometimes you could be qualified in one thing. He's qualified of talking about wars and shit overseas. That doesn't mean that he's qualified to know exactly how shit supposed to actually be in America. That's real talk. People, listen, let me just, what I mean by that is this. I was a street dude. So all I know, I was experienced in street shit. I know the rules and how shit work Majority of how shit work in the streets. That's what I know. That's what I'm qualified of doing, even though it was criminal shit. But somehow military people go over and commit crimes too. But they are trained and taught to do that. Whatever. That's a whole nother discussion. Right? But that's all I knew how to do. That's what I was experienced in. When I got into the corporate world of not making money the criminal way, I had to learn how corporate America works. I had to learn how being a regular citizen is. It took a minute. I mean, because like even now, like even though I'm educated in some stuff in politics, a lot of politics, I'm not qualified in everything about politics, but I know some things. That make me qualified to be a motherfucking senator or mayor or something. Yeah, experience do matter, but that doesn't make every time I'm experienced in certain stuff makes me qualified. And I don't give a fuck what nobody said. You could be qualified for somebody if you have the wrong idea of how, if you taking your ideology and you're running it that way and it harms others. Listen, people, you're not qualified to be a leader of people. I don't give a fuck you leading people in war. I don't care. Means nothing to me. It's like I wouldn't go over and tell military people how shit supposed to be over there and they fighting the war. I don't know. Even though I know the politics of what our politicians send them to go do. But hey, I'm not going to be mad at them. That's their own personal moral choice if they want to go over there and commit war crimes. That's on them. And I keep telling people, and a lot of people can get mad at me, military people can get mad at me, but I don't give a fuck. The truth is the truth. A lot of these people that go and serve are programmed. They don't even know the real reason why they over there in them countries. They don't know half of the time they're committing war crimes. They don't know that. They are just trained and programmed to do what the fuck they supposed to do. So no military person can come back home and want to be a politician because you serve for the country. Means nothing. You're not qualified. A lot of you are not qualified. The Middle East, or wherever you may go to war at, is not inner cities America. It's different. It's like the inner city is not the suburbs. That's why I always say this, and people get mad at me all they want. I don't care. Listen to me. I don't give a fuck. I don't believe no white person should be policing any black neighborhoods until they get their shit together of checking their own people. Don't check us, check your own. Don't police us, police your own. I'm sick of this shit. But this dude ain't qualified to be no motherfucking congressman. Just listen to the dumb shit he said out his mouth. If he was talking about something about war or something like that, then I would listen to him. I'll be okay to sit down and listen and have a conversation with this dude. But talking about some of these other issues, this guns and shit, he's not qualified to talk about no gun. And just because you're a gun owner, don't make you qualified either. The fuck out of here. So I've been on both sides of the motherfucking the guns shit situation. I had them illegally, and I have it legally. I'm more qualified to talk about this shit than this idiot. All he does is take donations from the NRA and these gun manufacturers. He don't give a fuck about those people that died. He don't give a fuck about them. Man, let's move on, man.
Ban?
Well, I surely would want to ban M16s, but that's not what we're talking about. The actual weapons of war are not being used. It's really a pseudonym, or it's
An AR-15?
AR-15 is not used. An AR-15 is not used by our military, and that's misleading by many people in this debate.
First of all, motherfucker, don't play politics with us. Listen, man, AR-15 people, they do use them at war. They don't always have them in the battlefield and shit like that when they out there in the field, but they do have them in the military. It's a goddamn lie. First of all, if the military come out and tell you that this weapon is built for war, the Pentagon said this shit. So he's lying. Nobody's saying they on the front line with these AR-15s. Actually, the guns that they got is actually worse than the AR-15s. Or somewhat similar. It's the same fucking gun. So it's a fucking liar. Because I kept trying to figure out why they keep saying they don't use these guns. The reason they don't say that, because they named the gun differently, and some of those guns that they use when they out there in the field and shit, the military people, they're a little bit more, they're a little better, or they're a little bit more powerful. That's all. It's a little tweak here and there that the guns that they use in the military that the AR-15s doesn't have, but they're very similar. They're very the same type of fucking gun. God damn it, man. Never mind, man. See, I told you, they play with people's lives. Politicians play with people's lives. And I keep telling y'all that, man.
An AR-15?
AR-15 is not used. An AR-15 is not used by our military. And that's misleading by many people in this debate.
Wow.
I'm asking you if you think an AR-15 is akin to a weapon of war, or what was used here, a Ruger 5.56.
A weapon of war is an automatic weapon. It's a machine gun. That's what our Army uses, our Marines use. And our AR-15 is not. That is not true. Yes, it is. It is a fucking machine gun. It's a borderline machine gun. And it depends which ones you get. Once you get, that's an automatic machine gun with a scope on it, it's like a sniper rifle. It's a hunting. It's not even a hunting rifle. Actually, it's a borderline, a mixture between those both. But it's more like a fucking machine gun. What the fuck do you think an automatic gun is? It's like a machine gun. Motherfuckers, look, we play Call of Duty. Nigga, look at the fuck out of here. And I've seen these guns before, too. They automatic guns. It's like they got automatic handguns. Nigga, get the fuck out of here. I know it got little things that's a little different about each gun. I get that. But it's still a fucking machine gun. It's an automatic. And I'm not for sure about this, but I'm gonna look this back up. With some of them AR-15s, you can switch the shit back and forwards if you want a single shot, or I think some of them are like that. You can switch it to a single shot, or you could turn it straight into an automatic. I know you can do that with handguns. And this dude is sitting up here bullshitting, man. You take one of those fucking guns from the military, right? You can't even buy one of those military guns. Just think about that, number one. But
You take one of those military guns and you go and commit a domestic terrorist attack in the country, it's going to do the same exact damage that a fucking AR-15 would do. Same shit. You're going to kill multiple people with that fucking gun. And like I said, I don't know why a motherfucker need an AR-15 for what? What do you need an AR-15 for? I know if you got a motherfucking handgun and you shoot that bitch off once or twice, people running. You don't need no motherfucking AR-15 to make people back the fuck off. Your intention is to kill more people. That's all that is. The fuck out of here, man. Student. Oh. Smooth. I'm almost done, man. This shit got my head hurting.
A weapon of war is an automatic weapon. It's a machine gun. That's what our Army uses, our Marines use. And our AR-15 is not. It's a rifle. And by the way, the AR-15 is the most popular rifle in America.
With the magazine.
And let me just tell you, something. And that's why listen, that's where that gray area comes from, where they get down to calling it a hunting rifle. Because I told you they got some. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of them AR-15s are like that, where you can switch it and turn it over into almost like a sniper rifle, like if you hunting something. But you could put a magazine in that motherfucker and turn it to an automatic weapon, machine gun. This dude is simply just like going to that gray area. And that's why they're getting away with this shit. That shit is still dangerous. And then the first thing he says, it's the most popular gun in America. So what? What do that mean? Who the fuck cares? Because it's popular? It makes it less dangerous to have? You know what's the most mind-boggling part about this whole situation is that, all right, you want people to have the guns, but let's have stricter rules for them to get the guns. I don't give a fuck what gun it is. Make it harder for them to get it. No, you don't want to do that at all. They just trying to ignore that the fucking gun is an automatic machine gun mixed with a fucking rifle. They lean on it, but it's like a rifle. It's really a rifle. Wow. And then the fucked up part about it is that when people are not educated in a lot of shit, a lot of regular market people, even some stupid gun owners, right? If you're not educated in a lot of this shit'll fly past your head. He probably is saying makes sense, but it doesn't. He get to sit here. He get to sit on a national platform and just tell half truths. And I told you about when people give half truths, they're basically lying. You tell those people that lost their loved ones at that supermarket in Colorado, like they give a fuck if that gun is the most popular gun in the country or is really like a rifle. When that bitch had a magazine on that motherfucker that spit like a machine gun, which it is, that the Army do have. The military people that on the front line had those type of guns. The nerve of these cocksuckers. And I told you, the problem is that the people in America, a lot of the people in America are not educated. They don't take the time out to educate themselves. They worry about some dumbass constitution that tells these motherfuckers it's your Second Amendment to have these guns. How? How is a motherfucking machine gun Your right to have, if it's like that, why they won't let you buy a motherfucking gun, which I believe that it is a military type gun that they let the people get the AR-15s with. Why they don't let people buy the military shit then? Because that military gun will do the same goddamn damage that an AR-15 would do, and an AR-15 will do the same goddamn damage as a fucking AR-15. Just like the Army's guns, the Marine guns. It's no fucking difference here, people. But like I said, they pick a gray area. It's really a rifle. Okay, well, we know handguns. You can do one shots with those bitches, and you can switch it, hit a clip, hit a thing on a gun, and turn that bitch to an automatic. We know that too. But that ain't borderline, is it? They don't use that gray area. Get the fuck out of here, man. Anyway, let's move on, man.
But they can just keep firing bullets with a magazine attached to it. They can just keep firing and firing and firing. Is it semantics, Congressman, that we're talking about here?
It's dishonest to say that the Army or Marines are using AR-15. It's not the case.
Not what I said.
It's mislabeling.
Okay. I think the viewers know that is not the point I was making. It was the Aurora police chief who called this a weapon of war. Okay.
What it is, it's the most popular rifle in America, and 99.9% of Americans that own them are law-abiding citizens.
What do they need them for? What do they need them for?
You know, we're a country of free people, and you're allowed to have things you want if it's legal. And this
listen, and just because it's legal doesn't mean that you should have it. That's the whole fucking thing. I don't think that people should. Never mind. Let's move on, man. I'm done, man. See, because this is what I'm saying. You ask motherfucker a simple question, then he go off talking about, hey man, it's the most popular gun in America. Like that shit matters. It doesn't matter. It's a lot of fucking guns that's very popular in America that people shouldn't have. He talking about 99%, 90% or something like that, or 99% of people that own guns are American citizens. Law-abiding citizens. Bullshit. People that own the, listen, that dude that owned that gun, that did them shootings in Atlanta and Colorado was gun owners, law-abiding citizens. And people, we got to start questioning, what is a law-abiding citizen? Because I get a DWI or I get locked up for trespassing or some shit like that. Am I considered, and I did some time in county jail or something like that because I had to wait for bail, or they just sentenced me because I had a couple of DWIs or something like that? Does that don't make me a law-abiding citizen anymore? I commit a crime and I go through the proper process to getting that shit expunged off my record. To, you know what I mean? I did better. I did my time, served my time, and went through all the proper things to get back in the good grace to go buy a gun. Did that make me okay? Am I still a bye-bye citizen? I mean, like, what do that mean anymore? And the fucked up part about it, and the reason I say that is because it's just like racism. They twist and turn and make up different shit of what's racism. And so now they tell you who's a patriot, who's not a patriot. Now they're telling you who's a citizen, who's not a citizen. Well, who's the citizens? Who's the law-abiding citizens that own these guns? We know a senator that is from Colorado. Her husband has got convicted of fucking sexually abusing children, young girl or something like that, I think. But he lives in the same fucking household with a citizen gun owner. How's that safe? Man, please, man. I told you, man, it's too many gray areas that these people use to try to keep their agenda going. And it's a goddamn shame that we can continue to keep allowing these people to keep doing this consistently and getting away with these dumbass talking points. These are, listen, I want to explain to people, this shit that you just heard, I let y'all hear, this is not a rational human being. This is not a decent human being. It's not a good human being. I don't give a fuck if he married, got kids, don't mean shit. I feel sorry for the motherfucking kids. That they got a disgraced ass father. And I don't give a fuck how many times he served. We know it's bad people in the military that commit war crimes, nigga. That rape women in the military. Sexually assault women. Rape men. Kill innocent people in war. So these people ain't no fucking heroes like that. And just because a lot of them didn't do these things that I just said means nothing. See, they think because one sacrifice that you've been doing for almost half of your life makes it somehow you this great person. No one's perfect and everybody got their own fucking bullshit. But the issue I'm having is that I'm not trying to shit on military people. I'm not trying to shit on anybody that sacrifice or go out their way to help others. My thing is, if you're going to put yourself in a position of that where you are in a position to help all people, not some people, not a little bit of fraction of people, to all people, you better have the motherfucking wisdom to sit down with different people to come to a conclusion, to come to a compromise. See, I would never run for mayor or anything like that because I'm not in, first of all, I'm not, people are better than me. I won't be in a space to be sitting down compromising with people that hate me. I ain't special in that way. I don't have the patience and I damn sure don't have it ain't my responsibility to do that. It's enough motherfucking pressure just being black, trying to get my people to come together. I don't got time to be sitting down with ignorant, racist, and stupid ass fuck people to compromise with them. I can spend more of that energy trying to compromise with people that look like me. And if that sound anti-Semitic or racist or whatever you want to say, bigotry, you want to say that, fine, I don't give a fuck. But I don't go around mistreating other people that don't look like me either. I don't sit around and say I don't accept other people that don't look like me. I said I don't accept people that be racist and discriminate and hateful ass people. I don't have time for those people. Now, if you feel like that you are a part of those people, then okay, I'm talking to you then. You feel like I'm talking to you, or I'm talking to you. I don't got time to sit down and figure out what's in your heart, what you thinking. I look at your actions and the shit that comes out your mouth. I don't got time for that nonsense shit. And no disrespect to the late, great Martin Luther King. I ain't Martin Luther King, motherfucker. I'm about respect. I got morals and shit. So I don't got time to be sitting around here trying to show my empathy so you can get some empathy. I'm not your mama, your daddy, anybody, your OG or somebody that was your advisor. I'm not that. I'm not your guidance counselor, motherfucker. I'm not trying to be you racist pieces of shit as some of you people mentors, your educator. That's not my responsibility. Like I said, and this shit rings true. I learned this from a street OG, from my OG. Told me, he said, Kenny, you can't beef and make money at the same time. And that goes for all you white supremacists. You want to make some money, you can't be beefing with black people and try to make money at the same time. Not anymore. Can't be beefing with us, motherfucker. Leave us the fuck alone. Let us be free. Let us live our lives. Treat us with the proper respect. You may even hate us. Just go the fuck home. Be amongst your racist friends. Nobody cares. Keep your fucking racist thoughts and feelings to yourself. Nobody cares. Only people care is you. And only reason that it seemed like I give a fuck about it is because some of fact it's happening to people that look like me. That's why I care. Other than that, I wouldn't give less fuck about you motherfuckers. Because you know why? You ain't worth the energy. But it's my motherfucking responsibility to speak up for me and my people. I took on that responsibility. I want the responsibility, and it is what it is. We keep going around this circle like this shit is complicated. It's not very complicated. It's not complicated at all. These people run around here acting like others did something to them. The reason that you feel that way is because you was raised that way. You live in the bubble. You don't live in real America. You live in this fantasy land that America has built. I'm willing to be respectful and nice to anybody that's respectful to me. But what I won't do is sit there and tolerate your fucking ignorance and your bigotry and your racism and your stupidity. That's not my responsibility to give a fuck about. For any black person or any other minority in the country or any good white person to sit, well, white people, that is y'all responsibility, good white people, to talk to your own. And I learned too, from somebody that's an older person in my family said this to me. You can't help everybody. I think it was my aunt that said that shit to me. She told me like, Ken, you can't help everybody, man. I know it's in your spirit to do that. This is how you built. But you can't help everybody. Sometimes you just got to do you and keep fighting for whatever you fight for. Look, man. And mind you, I'm not the one that's on the platform right now that's sitting here with 5 to 6 degrees or even 1 degree. But I learned how to treat people. I learned how to treat people right. I didn't have to go to school for that. I didn't have to have 8, 9 degrees for that shit. I was raised a certain type of way. Yeah, I had a fucked up childhood. A lot of fucked up shit happened. But I was raised a certain type of way. I knew bullying was bad before I even got bullied. When I was a child. I understood that. I taught that. I knew that you respect adults no matter if they right or wrong when you're a child. And I grew up in a fucked up, I had a fucked up childhood and I lived in a fucked up environment. I was taught that. But you're talking about educated people that has no fucking clue of what a struggle is. Running around this bitch with privilege. And these motherfuckers act like they don't know right from wrong. They don't have any type of empathy for others. I learned that you help other people in the neighborhood. You help people. I knew discriminating against somebody because of the color of their skin or because they was gay or whatever the situation is at a young age. Doesn't mean I always did everything correctly, but I knew better. We're dealing with grown-ass adults that got degrees, that got so much experience in government and life they know. But they lack decency. They lack humanity. They lack self-awareness. They lack this shit. And they lack integrity, because when you lie on purpose, you lack integrity because you know it's a lie. So you're being selfish to get what you want. I don't give a fuck what you did in your life. If you consistently do that, to just shit on other people and lie and step over other people and don't give a fuck about other people and lie to them, you're not a good person. And you're doing it on purpose. I seen a video earlier, people, and I'm gonna leave this with this. I seen a fucking video earlier where a lady was in the store, a food place, with an infant child in a stroller, no mask on. I can understand the baby don't have one on, I get it. But you know better. And she's sitting there and knowingly, because I guarantee you, they have, because I know this for a fact, they have these fucking signs on the door before you even go into the fucking establishment. No mask, no service. Masks are required to have on. You need to have one. And so she take her racist, stupid, funky, cracker ass into the goddamn place with no mask and no nothing on. And get in line. And then get up to the front and pretend, well, not pretend, well, act like that somehow the rules are different for her when everybody around her is wearing a mask. And she had a nerve to take her cocksucking ass up there with her child in a stroller. And the black dude tell her, hey, ma'am, I can't serve you. You got to have a mask on. He wasn't being disrespectful. The tone wasn't, hey, put your mask on. Ma'am, I'm not going to serve you unless you got a mask on. No, he didn't talk like that, people. He was respected. I mean, he was being respectful. Hey, ma'am, I cannot serve you. Ma'am, he said, ma'am, can you put your mask on, please? Do you have a mask? I got a mask for you if you don't have one. She said, I'm not wearing no mask. He said, well, ma'am, I cannot serve you unless you have a mask on. Company policy. Mind you, this woman does not pay taxes for this establishment. I need all you stupid ass Trump supporters to understand this. You do not pay taxes for that establishment. Any of the establishments that you go, these are private owned establishments. Okay? Now, that's number one. But then number two, you want to go into an establishment over something very minor, and that wouldn't take long for you to do, just to put a mask on and go in there and still get served. You make a big deal out of that. You want to sit there and get racist, because I'm going to tell you exactly what she did and said. and do all this crazy shit that y'all do in these stores. But I told y'all a couple of years ago that it was a gay couple that went into a bakery. And it was a white couple. It wasn't no minority or nothing like that. It was a white couple. And they go in there, they wanted to get a wedding cake. And this motherfucker sat there and discriminated against those women because they was gay. We don't do gay cakes here. Exact words to her, to that couple. That's discrimination. Because your religion should not stop you from baking a fucking cake for anybody. Even if you feel like that is condoning gay marriage and you against it. Understandable. But you don't get to discriminate against them over no fucking cake. Nobody's asking you to go marry these people. That you just bake a fucking wedding cake. But I guarantee you didn't have that type of these dumbass Trump supporters out here that don't want to wear masks. You didn't hear a lot of them speak up for that gay couple that actually got discriminated against. They sided with the motherfucking racist, the bigot. Which a lot of them are anyway. That's why they side with that racist piece of shit. See, I don't go about what's in your heart. I don't give a fuck how many black friends you have. I don't give a fuck about what you think. I hear what you say, and I watch what you do. And mainly I watch what you do and what you accept and what you don't accept. So, to move on to this racist bitch in the store. So she took her ass up there, and like she had to abide by the rules, privilege. Because it ain't like they only picking out white people not to wear masks. If a black person come in the fucking store, or a Chinese person, or Asian person, or Mexican, or Muslim person, whoever fuck with religion you have, you don't have a fucking mask on, you don't get served. So it ain't discrimination. Nobody's in the store not serving you because you're a white person. Or you're a Trump supporter. Who gives a fuck? And who is proud of that? Oh, I'm sorry. Racist, stupid people. But everybody has to wear a fucking mask. So ain't no discrimination about it. And you motherfuckers, this bitch took herself in there, and the brother was nice to her, whatever, said what he said. I can't serve his company policy. She went on and went on and on, blah, blah, blah. Then the people started getting pissed. And see, now I understand why people start saying shit to these people. Because I was like, why are y'all saying anything to these people? But now I get it, because I watched this video, and I can understand. These people probably on a lunch break. They probably may got to go pick the kids up from the daycare or school, or they got to take the kids to school, whatever it may be. And this bitch is in the line, holding up the fucking line because she don't want to wear fucking masks. She want to make a scene with a child there. And so the people start getting upset. Hey, lady, he's not going to serve you, just go. All she got to do. You don't want to wear a mask? Go. You should have never came in the bitch anyway because you already know the outcome of that. What you thought it was going to be a Trump supporter that worked there and say, no, I'm going to let you slide because you one of us? No, bitch. Because I'll tell you one thing. If it was a Trump supporter that was at that counter and they just served her without wearing a fucking mask, that person could get fired because it's company policy. Just like at any other fucking job. It's company policies. Did you know that it was a story down in Louisiana to where it was the people where they buried people at, and there's the owner there. And this is how ignorant people are, or they think how stupid we are. And they thought it was okay. Nobody said nothing about it. Until a black woman went to go bury her husband at this funeral, at this burial place. And the one fucking white woman tells her, "Oh, we don't bury black people. It's against company policy." We're talking about somebody's dead. How the fuck is that gonna anyway? That's discrimination. And then the balls and the galls for them to say that. And then later on, try to pretend that they act like, oh, it's not on me, it's company policy. You didn't speak up and say anything. Hey, this ain't right. We can't bury black people here. Nobody brung that up. But this white bitch want to sit here and get in line and get mad and make a scene because she got to wear a mask. When people really actually dealing with real discrimination problems. This woman just buried her husband. I mean, just trying to bury her husband, just lost her husband for over 50 years. You're going through that pain and you're mourning over that. And then you go to bury your fucking husband. And these white racist pieces of shit had a nerve to come out and say, we don't bury you type of people. It's against company policy. And this white bitch, and for any of you stupid ass Trump supporters that ever come out your fucking mouth and talk about you being discriminated against, this is segregation, that you got to wear a fucking mask, suck my dick. People should start spitting in y'all fucking face because y'all are not worthy to be on planet Earth. You should just go to sleep and don't wake up. Nobody will miss you. You're taking simple things of trying to keep the public safe. Even if you don't believe in the shit, it's company policy. Just put the fucking mask on. It's not hard. It's not nothing that ruins your day. You're choosing to allow this situation with these masks ruin your day. That's how weak you are and insecure of a person that you are. And you compare what the fuck you gotta wear a mask to that black sister that tried to go bury her motherfucking husband for 50 years and they turned her away because she was black. Because it was company policy because she was black. And you tried to compare your shit to black people's shit. Or any other minority that been through segregation or racism or fucking slavery or bigotry or discrimination in this country. The nerve of you cocksuckers. This is why I say it ain't worth it of sitting down with these people and compromising. But it gets worse of what this stupid bitch did. She gets so angry. She gets so angry inside. It bulls her white privilege, her racism, her hate for people. Instead of y'all walking away or saying any other word, fuck you, bitch, fuck you, you cocksucker, you bastard, anything else. You know what our word was to this black brother? Because he wouldn't serve this bitch. Because it actually is company policy. And it ain't because you're a Trump supporter. It's not because he's not serving you because you're a Trump supporter. He's not serving you because you, it's only because you're white. Because if nobody, if a black person or anybody came up there and didn't have a fucking mask on, he is not going to serve them either. We have seen it already. So it ain't got nothing to do with your white privilege. And it damn sure don't got nothing to do with you being a Trump supporter. Because those people that telling you no don't know if you're a Trump supporter. They're just trying to do their fucking job. Make a living. But you want to make their job harder. Over a fucking mask. But you know what she said? She called him a fucking nigger. Because he wouldn't serve her because company policy said, if you don't have a mask on, I can't serve you, man. He didn't create the motherfucking policy, people. But she got mad at him and called him a nigger. So I want all the motherfuckers out here that plays these little games about racism doesn't exist, suck my dick. Because when she first was talking to the brother, she never called him a nigger. She got to the point that where she got so angry that what was her first thing to do? To call him a nigger when she got that angry. So you don't have to, nobody got to come out and wear sheets and shit on their head and Nazi signs and calling black people niggers all fucking day for them to be a fucking racist. It's that 1% or point at the time that you forget that you're supposed to be a decent human being. You don't supposed to be a fucking racist. That she slipped up and said what she said. Not even slipped up. It was in her mind probably the whole fucking time. But you know what? I don't get to pretend what's in her fucking brain. I don't care. I know what came out of her mouth though. All over her mask. And see, this is where I tell my brothers and sisters that's immigrants that come over here with they fuck shit, not all of them, but come over with they fuck shit and siding with these white supremacists the way they do. This is why we tell y'all to get on board or shut the fuck up. Don't speak about us. If you ain't riding with us, don't speak on our issues. Don't speak on us. That's the shit we got to deal with. And that goes for any other race of motherfuckers. Any other minorities in the country. Don't say a motherfucking thing. If you ain't with us, then you're against us. And if you're against us, don't say shit about it. Don't talk no shit about our issues. Got nothing to do with you. Don't speak for us. Don't act like you speaking for us. And just because you're a sellout ass, coon ass nigga, doesn't mean that it ain't gonna happen to you. And it might have did, and it might have scared your pussy asses. That's why a lot of you motherfuckers come over here and you side with them white supremacists, and a lot of you coon ass niggas that are from here side with them white supremacists because you're pussies. And like I said, whenever you see these motherfuckers that don't want to wear masks, 95% of them are Trump supporters. That's how you can tell a Trump supporter. When they start acting out on a fucking mask. There's a little nigga up the street at 7-Eleven. He ain't want to put no mask on. Nigga, put the fucking mask on, you fucker. Little black kid. But that's ignorant people. That's why that's at 5% of stupid ass, ignorant ass black folks too. Oh, we got ignorant niggas. Because you don't give a fuck about your life, don't mean that other people don't give a fuck about theirs. And see, that's the problem. You motherfuckers don't give a fuck about others, but you want us to care about yours. If you don't give a fuck about your life, why should I care? Hey, to you Trump supporters, but we all one, right? We all Americans. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we against what you against. We can go to another country and we should go to another country and we should, we're not true Americans. We hate America. Okay, fine. But don't play games with people like me because I understand your fucking bullshit. I'm a good judge of character of people, and I watch your behaviors. I watch how you motherfuckers side and be silent for white supremacy and racism that happen and make excuses for it. I watch it all the time. And just because you can trick a lot of your white folks, and just because you can trick some minorities in this country, and just because you can trick some simple-minded slave mentality Negroes, because it ain't a lot of us like that. Just because you can do that to them doesn't mean that you can do that to the rest of us black folks that actually give a fuck about others and care about. Yeah, we care about our people first, but we give a fuck about other races of people. It's in our nature. That's who we are. We givers. We like to see other people happy, as well as we want to be fucking happy and respected and treated like we some fucking body. But like I said, if you treat me a certain motherfucker where you treat me like an enemy, then we an enemy. You treat me with no respect, I don't have no respect for you. The only thing I won't stoop down to do is say I hate you. You hate me, I don't really give a fuck. I don't hate you, I dislike you. I can't hate nobody. It ain't in my spirit. I wasn't raised that way. And I come from a criminal background full of motherfuckers. Drugs, violence, I come from all that. And I still don't hate anybody. What'd that tell you? People say you shouldn't say that you're better than people. I'm better than them. I'm better than those people that think that hateful, racist shit. I'm better than them. And if I get to the heaven gates, God, why you think, can you supposed to say that? God, I'm better than them. Yes, I'm better than them. I like I said, I'm gonna leave this with this and I'm out of here. I have never seen, the crazy shit about it, I couldn't imagine walking around with that much envy, insecurity, hate in my heart, that much negative energy, walking around with that shit all day about people I don't know. I don't even know these people. Just imagine walking around with that much fucking animosity to people that you don't know. How exhausting that shit should be. I can't imagine it. You know why? Because it ain't in my spirit. I can't walk around with that shit in me. I got better shit to do with my life than be walking around with that energy like that. Anyway, people, I'm out of here, man. Hopefully I'll see y'all later to do a live stream. I gotta do some shit in here real quick, but a couple of my fish died, so I gotta clean my fish tank out again. Shit, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. God damn it. So hopefully it's a little late, but hopefully I do another live stream. I like to do it earlier, but we might do it a little late. We'll see, people. If not, I definitely gonna do one probably tomorrow before Friday, because we doing a little cookout here this weekend. We ain't seen the family in months, so we're gonna do a little something. Not nothing big and shit like that, but I know people that been in their house quarantining and they ain't been out running around acting crazy. But anyway, yeah. So if I don't do one tonight, I'm definitely gonna do one tomorrow. But leave your comments, hit that like button, support your boy. It's your boy Kenny, man. Peace and love to the world.